We are back on the Focus RS in today's video, and yeah, we're going to get it into the workshop, strip off everything that's damaged and order parts. I have no idea what we're going to need, and that is going to be the key to today's video, just ascertaining exactly what we need to repair this car. And I'm really hoping it's not going to go the same way as the Wing and everything is just a ridiculous price, but I'm sure we'll find out. I've got the car on charge at the minute, so I'll be able to start it and hopefully drive it into the workshop. If you haven't seen the last video, do click in the top right hand corner where I revealed the car and kind of fixed the offside front wheel already. Although I think my either drive shaft or steering arm is also a bit bent because the wheel isn't quite straight. And also, I do keep forgetting to say, but please do also follow me on Instagram as well at saving_salvage. I always forget to say, I end up putting it at the end of the video, and yeah, just trying to really boost the Instagram following. So while the RS is on charge, I need to actually push the R8 back out the workshop to be able to get the Focus in. I had to pause on this again because I completely forgot about an oil cooler pipe that I butchered, and I think it's a common problem on the V8s anyway. I think it's this one here, so I've had to order that. It was on back order, so that should be here any day now. I ordered it quite a while ago actually, so that's why I've had to do a mini pause on the R8 again. It's just things like this, a bit of a pain in the ass, but anyway, that is why we have multiple projects, so we can keep going regardless. So yeah, I'll just push the R8 out, move the engine out of the way, and we'll try and limp the RS in. Right, let's see if she starts. I've had it on charge now for a good hour. So, see if that clicking comes back as well. Absolutely not. I think the battery is goosed. Try again. Go. Oh, for Christ's sake. Nothing's ever simple, is it? Started fine the other day. Try again. There we go. We got there. Sounds sweet. Jump pack and a battery charger in the end. Well, I was going to cable tie the bumper up, but I think I've got just about enough clearance there where it's not dragging on the floor, so I'm just unsure about... No, I should be alright with movement now. I'm just worried about this little gap here, but yeah, it's not ideal, is it? Damn it. Much. Oh yeah, steering's horrible, look. Look at the wheel. Just gonna have to go really slow. Pretty sure my arm's bent. And it just keeps grabbing. Oh, and I nearly forgot to mention, the guy that previously owned this car reached out to me on Instagram and actually told me the full spec of the car and actually what happened in the crash. I even may have a picture I might put up now if I do. And yeah, I have my suspicions that it probably wasn't going to be his fault because the car is just way too clean, way too looked after, and it just didn't seem like it would be driver fault. And I was right, and what actually happened is I think he was in traffic and someone just tried to do a U-turn to avoid and go back and ended up just crashing straight into the side of him there on that corner, which is the reason the impact is so side on. And that brings me on to CarVertical, who have kindly sponsored today's video. Now, if you're looking to buy your next car, whether it be crashed or damaged, you need to buy a CarVertical check to check the history of that car. And that will tell you whether it's been written off in the past, has outstanding finance, ever been clocked, is wanted as stolen. There are loads of different reports it can give you, and it gives you peace of mind. I'd even do it before you even go and view the car, just to save you any potential wasted trips if it is a wrong one.
So let's take a look at this Ford Focus ST damage report as an example. Now we can see here we've got a sub-menu at the top here which has mileage, theft, accidents and finance, and you can see the accidents this vehicle was damaged. The others all tick green, so there's no need to worry. We have a handy little subsection on our left here as well. You can skip straight to each part if you want. So let's just go down to mileage. Now mileage is one of the main things you want to check out on, because this gathers data from many more places than you could look yourself. So it just gives you peace of mind that the mileage increase is nice and it doesn't ever dip, which then suggests it has been tampered with. Now let's go down to the damage, and this is where it really pays dividends. It was a front end damage, looking at these spots here, and you can see all the different potential damage. And you have an estimated repair cost of between £5,000 and £10,000. It was a category D write-off, which is the old type of write-off. If we scroll down even further, some pictures of the accident, and there we go, look. So you can see front end damage, host of pictures that you can go through. So if you go and view this car, you know exactly where to look for the damage and to see if the repair was good.
So if you click the link in my description, and you'll get 10% off with my discount code, and it's just a check that's worth doing for peace of mind, a small fee for a peace of mind that a car you're buying you know is legit. So a massive thanks to CarVertical for sponsoring today's video and continuing to support the channel. So it's always good to know what happened to a car before its crash, and in this case, nothing too drastic, especially the RS was stationary, so yeah, I'm hoping it should be good. Now, the spec on this car, I need to get a paper because I need to read this. So I'll read the spec list out as follows. It is a 2010 Mark II Focus RS Ultimate Green. It's done 45,000 miles, so it's fairly low mileage. It's a Jam Sport 400, which means it's got a Miltech catback exhaust with a 200 cell cat, H&R lowering springs, AirTake Stage 1 intercooler, 650cc injectors, Auto Specialist inlet plenum, K-Sport brakes with Padgett RS29 pads, 356mm discs, and yeah, that is the spec of the car. So it is a well-spec car, and it should have around 400 horsepower. So I've just got the car just off the ground there, ready to go in the air. First thing I've noticed is our bonnet seems to be twisted, because as you can see, look, it has closed the gap up to the wing a lot. Hopefully that is just the mountings for the bonnet, because the bonnet itself looks okay, apart from just a little, very small crease here, which can be easily fixed. Yeah, just hopefully that's just the bonnet mountings that have creased. Also, I'm glad I haven't ordered too many parts, because I mentioned in the last video that I managed to pick up a wing for 400 quid. Also, loads of people have sent me links to RSs that are breaking, so thank you for that as well. Typical, I've already bought a bumper and a wing, so it's done. But the wheel arch liners, I said from Ford, were 500 quid, and an ST one was like 30 quid or something like that. A few of you guys messaged me saying that RS inner arches are actually just two ST arches, like cut and then pop riveted together, even from factory. And I actually found the old arch. I just tossed it away. I've still got it over there, so we can have a look.
So here's part of it here, and yeah, you can see, I'm guessing this is maybe an ST wing that ends here, look. And then, as you can see, look, we've got an added bit here, which has just been really poorly actually cut in, and then like kind of folded in and then pop riveted. So I'm guessing that's what everyone means by an ST wheel arch literally just added in, and they're trying to charge you 500 quid for that. And it's even an ST arch that's just had another ST arch bolted to it. Yeah, taking the mick a bit, aren't they? But I'm glad, because that will save me a lot of money, so thank you. And by some miracle, even though it's pressed up against the wing, it hasn't damaged the bonnet or the wing at all. There's no paint missing at all. So that, as long as it is only the bonnet hinges, is a touch. So let's just have a quick look over the car before I start removing things. And I want to say it doesn't look too bad. However, obviously getting a shock of the prices so far, I don't want to say anything if I'm honest. But let's have a quick look at the rest of the car. Yeah, it all looks pretty much the same as the exterior. It's all pretty clean under here. Minimal rust really for its age. So don't know if it's been garaged or not, but yeah, it all looks pretty clean. I mean, I've seen a lot worse rust than that.
especially considering the car's, what, 13 years old now. So no, that's pretty fine in my book. Tyres, as I said in the last video, all PS4Ss. They are pretty much brand new, 6 or 7 mil, and the fronts, I believe, are also, yeah, probably about 5 mil-ish. So we can see our new wishbone that I fitted here. The steering tie rod end is bent. If I just get the angle where you can see it, look, you can see it's bent there. I don't think it's going to be anything too more severe than just a new inner tie rod, so that should be fine. Even the track rod end might be all right, so we might just need a tie rod. What else we got? Drive shaft, it looks okay. I mean, there's not really much to bend, so I'm hoping that just the steering arm's bent there. But other than that, it looks okay. Even the under tray's not really damaged, if I'm honest. Only a little bit at the end there, so it's not really had much of an impact. Chassis legs are not bent. They look good. Well, I'll say that now. They look fine from here. Everything else, yeah, we needed a new power steering pump because that is all smashed in, that the electronics and they're all exposed, so that requires a new one. Unsure, this is the only thing that looks a bit dodgy. There's some brackets up here that are painted body colour, so I'm not sure. I need to get a diagram of exactly what is supposed to be bolted off on this side, but we'll do that when we start removing things. Ooh, Volvo. So yeah, let's start with the under tray, get that off, and I'll undo the bumper bolts from the bottom here. We'll whip that bumper off and we'll start stripping bits and getting to this corner.
So as I said, we'll start with the under tray, which is a couple of bolts, comes off really easy. And the good news is the damage is, there just isn't any underneath. It is really clean. Now, to get the bumper off is a couple of screws. And I'll tell you what, it's really nice working on an older car like this because there's just so much room. It's so minimal and it's just so nice and easy to work on. So a couple of screws on the top of the bumper, and we can get the bumper off. The hardest bit on this was actually the locking system for the bonnet, because obviously you have, for Fords, on the Focuses, you have to put a key in the lock and twist it, and that connects to the slam panel at the front. And I do remember kind of working on this before, but it's a real pain trying to get that barrel off. But once I got it off, bumper come off nice and easily. The headlights, this one was actually not bolted on at all, just pulled off. It was just the electrical wire holding it in. And then we've got our slam panel on the top there. The offside headlight, sorry, near side headlight actually is just held in with one bolt and it just pops off. So nice and easy there. Now we've got the driver's wing, which is 4 or 5 bolts, and it was quite difficult to get to because it was crumpled, but I managed to get there in the end. I had to end up taking off the scuttle panel and the wiper arms to get to the one bolt under the bonnet, but once we did, it exposed that, and luckily there was just no damage under it. It was really nice. Slam panel coming off next, and it's actually attached to the crash bar, and the 2 bolts that attaches it to the crash bar are pretty much impossible to get to because they sit in front of the intercooler, so I had to drop the crash bar as well to get it all off. A few bits of wiring had to get out of the way, but once we got those out of the way, it all come off pretty well.
So here we are, pretty much halfway down, all parts stripped off, apart from the power steering pump with bracket, which is just held on by a few, I think it's still got the power steering fluid in there, so I don't want to lose that all over the floor just yet, so I'm just leaving that to hang. So we can proper ascertain and have a look at all the parts that I need, and you know what? This isn't as bad as I expected it to be, and in my opinion, I don't think it should have been a Category S car. The only thing, body-wise, that we're going to have to replace is this. I'll show you on the other side, because on this side it's missing pretty much. It's this little bit here. So it's this thin bit of metal here that basically goes to the end of the, it's what the slam panel bolts to. It just spot welds by 4 little spot rivets onto the chassis leg, and it's literally just a bracket for the slam panel and the wing. It does nothing else, and that is the only thing, well, it's not structural, that's the only thing body-wise that needs replacing. And obviously that isn't structural at all. So there's no damage down here. I've actually been really lucky, look, no damage to the sill at all. So that was quite lucky. I didn't actually expect there to be some damage. So yeah, in my opinion, this should not have been a Category S car, but unfortunately it is. Should have been Cat N. Yeah, the only thing we'll have to do is pull this little bit out here a little bit, but that new bracket is actually part of this anyway, so that shouldn't make any difference. Just going over what we need then. Crash bar is bolted to the, I'm going to call it the slam panel. It's this top little panel here, which consists of this beam along the bottom and the top lock carrier little section here. So that is separate to the crash bar, but because of the way it's bolted
here, look, with the bolt going this way, which is up against the intercooler, I couldn't actually remove it. I had to take the whole thing off. Stupid design. Could have just put a bolt through the front here, but there we go. So I've had to remove the whole bit, but we just need the top section, which then rectifies our damaged bit here. What else have we got? Steering pump and reservoir with bracket. I think I found one. We need 2 AC pipes. One of them luckily only joins here, which goes to the AC dryer. The other one, unfortunately, is a bit bigger. Comes out here, goes under the coolant header tank, and goes into the back of the heater matrix at the back there. So, unfortunately, I need that long pipe. What else have we got? Headlight, which, yeah, quite evidently need one of those. The bonnet, I think, is actually another touch. It's just moved off its mountings. You've got adjustable bonnet mountings here, and you can see where it's just slid over a little bit. So I think just purely undoing that, moving it back and doing it back up again will rectify that issue, so that isn't a problem. And then just our steering arm, tie rod end down in the suspension as well. Maybe an under tray, but I don't actually know if it's damaged. I think it's just where it cuts out. And then just the wheel arch liners, and then obviously we've got the dashboard and airbag kit inside. So overall, I don't think it's actually that bad parts wise. Now, I haven't said how much the parts are going to be, because that may be the bad thing. I just thought I'd jump in at this point. I've already filmed the bit you've just watched. I've just come back because I've actually got some update on some prices, so I thought I might as well just mention them now. So prices aren't actually too bad. I've managed to buy a complete slam panel, which is everything bar the crash bar you see here. Everything here, direct from Ford, brand new. I've also got the body bracket here that sits here, which on this one is that bit there. Look, I've also ordered that brand new from Ford too. I've also ordered a brand new inner tie rod, well, tie rod not end, but tie rod from Ford as well. And I also ordered, while I was there, a bumper support because I don't have it on the new bumper. All that from Ford. Came to just under 300 quid, which is, I thought, pretty good considering I expected this to be more than 300 quid on its own. So they will be here. Well, I'll have to go pick them up tomorrow. I've also ordered a new steering because mine, as you can see, look, is broken. So I've ordered a new steering pump and reservoir and bracket. When I say new, it's secondhand, sorry. New to me. That was 100 quid, so that will be coming in the post. I've also ordered a AC dryer, bracket, and all AC pipes for, believe it or not, 30 quid. So I can also just take what I need out of that and scrap the rest. So that was good. I've also ordered a new dashboard and steering wheel airbag for £100. I've got to go collect those in the next few days. So I'm pretty sure that's it for the moment. So I think I'm doing pretty well on parts and prices so far. I was going to take the dashboard out in today's video, but because I've now got to take the Focus out and get the R8 on the ramp, I don't want to put parts everywhere and it just gets confusing and I'll start losing things. So I'm going to leave the dashboard until I pick the new one up. But yeah, apart from the initial hit with the parts, bumper, wing, we're doing all right. I'm going to leave it here in today's video, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. As always, please do follow me on Instagram under saving_salvage, and also subscribe if you haven't already, please. The next video, depending on parts for the RS, we may be back on the R8. And also, good news, I will let you know in Instagram post as well that my GT4 parts, I think they've all turned up now. I've got 3 massive boxes anyway. I haven't been through them yet. So as always, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.